Alright, hello everybody, and this is yet another Blender tutorial where we will again be looking at our Fluttershy model. Yes, more Fluttershy. Yay! And her famous words. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing mane, tail, cutie mark, and possibly getting to the wings. I don't know. I don't know. We may do cutie mark, wings, mane, and tail. I don't know. We'll do something in that fashion. Anyway, if you've been following along, this should be about where we have our model to. We've actually got her basically textured. I need to tweak the mouth texture color just a little bit more, but this is the basic Fluttershy, and yes, it is very, very basic. We're gonna do a little bit of tweaking on around the eye, just to make it look a bit more realistic. The cutie mark's gonna be fun. Not. I've mostly figured out how to do it though. Alright. Yes, I say mostly. Alright, we're going to start with a cutie mark, I guess. Alright, so we're going to tab into edit mode right off the bat. And we're going to take in the cutie mark area of where that would be on a pony. It'd be about right in this area. This is a very rough estimation. Alright, we're going to map an image texture to this. So we're going to go 3. Yeah, that looks about like the right area. It's kind of a little difficult to tell on a pony, actually. I don't know, use your better judgment. But whenever you've got your area selected, go to your side view and click U and project from view. I've got it this time. Yes, it's project from view. Yes, I need to add another material. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to be on the body material. We're going to click this little down arrow thing, and we're going to copy the material. We're going to add a new material. We're going to click new. We're going to name this material cutie mark. And we're going to click the down arrow, and we're going to click paste material. This is going to paste the exact node layout of our body material. This is actually very, very important. We're going to go to our node editor. For a cutie mark material, it looks identical to the body. I mean, click between them, they are identical. We're going to make sure we're on our cutie mark. We're going to add a mix shader. I just did this like 15 seconds ago, so I hope I have not forgotten it. We need to add a... we're going to go and go with a hair shader. We're going to change it to transmission just like before. We're going to add a image texture, run the color into the hair, run the alpha into the factor on the mix shader, run the hair down to the bottom shader. We're going to open an image texture, and we're going to open Fluttershy cutie mark. Alright, this should have done exactly what we wanted it to, but we got to go to the UV image editor. Oh man, I was afraid of that. We're going to open Fluttershy cutie mark. What on earth is all that mess right there? Hang on a second, let me go to the 3D. That's what that mess is. I unintentionally had a lot of face area selected. Wow. Why did I do that? Alright. Project from view, make sure it's just that area. My bad. Wow. Oop, not the node editor, we need the UV image editor. Alright, we're going to grab everything. We're going to scale it up. And we're going to get as much of this cutie mark in the area as possible without actually overlapping. So this is where your master editing, or master grab and movement skills are going to come in handy. The really nice thing is this is a very high resolution cutie mark image. So when we go to actually render it in Blender, it is not going to be pixelated at all. It's going to be very, very nice texture resolution. Alright, that should be good. I've just filled up the selected vertices within the image. I'm going to go back to our 3D view. What? Why is it not rendering? Oh. We're going to click Assign. And then render it. There we go! Our little Fluttershy. Ooh. Has a weird butterfly. Look at that butterfly. Oh, wait. Let me try a little trick here. Go to Scene. Uncheck that mark. Doesn't look half bad, actually. I'm pleasantly happy with that. That actually worked a little bit better than I expected it to. The butterfly kind of looks a little bit messed up. We can actually fix that, I think, if we go back to our UV image editor. We know about where the butterfly is. The part that's messing up. We can try and actually adjust it. Will that do what we want it to? No, not really. I know what it is, and I know why it's doing it. Let's see if I can actually fix it on the model itself. It'd be hilarious if that was just the simple little fix that this whole thing needed. Alright. And it was. What do you know? Alright. The other one is about right in there. I think it's actually doable. Alright. Fluttershy is now actually Fluttershy. Yay! Alright, we're gonna click Simplify back on. Alright, unrender that. Simplify. Yeah. Right now this thing's using about 79 megabytes of memory. Rendering it, yeah, 74.61 megs memory, the top left corner right here. 4 seconds to render it. This is just basic 10 samples. Just the default render. I'm not going to change that. My computer would hate me if I change that. But what we're going to do now is we're going to add mane and tail. Won't that be wonderful? For the sake of this, I'm actually going to turn the simplify off, so it's actually rendering the thing full, all that, or subdividing it. We're going to start with the easy thing, the tail. We're going to go place at the base of the tail, we're going to go Shift A, add a cylinder. I might have wanted to check and make sure the cylinder was in the right spot. Alright. Adjust this just a little bit. Because our 3D cursor was not at the center, and again, I've forgotten screencast keys. I wish that thing would just automatically default to on. What I did was our 3D cursor was way over here somewhere, right? If you want to put it back at the center, you do Shift C. It'll move the camera out, but it'll put the 3D cursor at exactly center. I mean, your 3D cursor location, if you pull up your properties panel, 3D cursor location is 000. It's just a very quick hotkey for that. So we're going to put it base of the tail, Shift A, add a cylinder, rotate the cylinder around, scale it down. We're actually going to bury quite a bit of the cylinder inside of her rear end, and we're going to do that for when we actually subdivide this mod, or this tail. Same thing as we've done in the last several models, or last several things like this. Extrude it, rotate it, scale it until it fits, until it's what makes you happy. Right? I have noticed in the several models that I've done, the tail does get a little bit challenging. Yeah. So just keep extruding it, scaling it until you're happy with it. And then when we get a little bit closer to being done, I'll show you one thing that this is actually doing, which is not great. I wish I would hit the right keys when I mean to. That'd make things a lot better. Oh man. Alright, hold on just 1 second. I'm having mouse difficulties. My mouse has decided to bug up on me just a little bit. Yes, that was a notification that just appeared. Yeah. I think I've dropped my mouse one too many times. I have a wireless Bluetooth mouse, and every so often it will mess up the keys, or mess up the buttons. So let's resynchronize it. There we go. Alright, you work now? Yes. So what it was doing is, I was doing middle mouse button and it would left click. And I'd left click and it would do absolutely nothing. So yeah. I might want to consider replacing the mouse. I love this mouse though. It's a birthday gift. It's one of the only mice that I've seen that is actually a calculator. Yeah. It's a mouse that's a calculator. It is awesome! Alright, this is where we get into the little problem of the clipping tail. You just kind of have to figure out where her tail would actually be. The good thing is, when we go and subdivide this, it will smooth everything out just like it's supposed to be. Oh, excuse me. I ate fish this time, and the fish is messing with my insides. I think food messes with my insides in general. Alright, before my mouse decided to quit on me, I was talking about something. I don't know why, but I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. Yeah. If any of you figure it out, like, tell me in the comments. I'd love to know what I was talking about. That is a silly request. Because when I go and edit this video, I'm going to watch it, and I will figure out what I was talking about. Yes, I'm just blabbing on now. Alright. We're almost done with her itty bitty tail. I'm just going, I'm gonna stop the tail right about in here just a little bit. Right about like that. I needed one more loop. There we go. That's going to be Fluttershy's tail. Alright. Tab whatever mode, and we have a really fluffy tail. This won't entirely do, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit scale along the x-axis and scale it down just a little bit, just to flatten it out, just a little bit. There we go. Fluttershy's tail. Again, we're going to take and add a modifier. Subdivision surface, set it to the same level that you set the body at. We set our body at level 3 render, level 2 view, right about like that. Looks like a reasonable tail. I'm actually fairly pleased with that. What we're going to do, I suppose, is we'll add our material for the tail. New, we're going to name this hair, because it's for the mane and the tail. We can't name it tail because we're just going to use the exact same one. From memory, I'm going to try and do the nodes. I'm going to delete the diffuse shader. I'm going to add a mix shader. You'll notice I do very simple shaders, but I always use a mix shader. I always use at least 2 shaders. I don't know why. I guess I'm trying to be cool. Alright, I'm going to use a hair and a diffuse. I'm going to set the hair to transmission. Let's see if we can come up with a pretty pink for Fluttershy. Right about there, actually. We're just gonna copy that. That should be our pink Z. Haha! Fluttershy's pink tail. Wonderful! This is turning out better than I thought. Alright, now we're gonna do the mane. We're gonna do the mane in one piece, or in one mesh as two different pieces. Mostly. We're gonna add a cylinder. This is gonna be a little bit more difficult. This you kinda have to extrapolate out where her hair actually is. So believe it or not, we're gonna scale this one up. Her hair ends right about there. Right in there. And it starts, if I remember correctly, right behind the ear. So, or right about in the middle of the ear. So I'm just gonna scale this thing down to where it'll fit right in that area. I'm gonna tab over into edit mode, and yes, we have a really poofy 3D shape. This one's gonna be the front swoop. So, and now, one thing that we do have to keep in mind is this is not going right down the middle of her face. So, about right here, I guess. I needed to do this way earlier. Alright, I'm going to switch into proportional editor, scale it up, move it over, and rotate it about like that. And now this is actually going to start us on our curvy path of... Wait, turn off the proportional editor. Our curvy path of Fluttershy's mane. Yes, turning it like this is making it a lot bit more difficult. I just realized I'm not doing this quite right. What do I need to do to make this right? Alright, her mane, let me not point with my finger so you people can see as well. Her mane is actually a fairly odd shape. Its front swoop is very easy to see. The back one, if I remember right, will take and come up, if I remember right, passes just right in front of her eye and then comes back up. So I may actually, what I'll do is I'll hide that, and I'm going to start from this front side. Oop. Wow. I may have just slightly bugged Blender up. What on earth? Oh. I can't move my 3D cursor. What did I do? Did I somehow lock my 3D cursor's location? I think I managed to somehow lock my 3D cursor. What did I press? Huh. I can't move my 3D cursor. At all. Wait a second, I can't left click. What on earth has happened? My left clicker's not working. What? Mouse problems. Could this spell the end of my mouse? No. It might be the end of my mouse. Having all these problems like this. I'm going to try a different approach. I'm going to try building her mane from the front up. Yeah. So I'm going to start it right about there. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, this one is having several bugs. This is weird. I might have should have tried to do a little bit of this beforehand just to see what I needed to do to it. That's what I get for trying to do everything in camera. 'Tis the sign of an amateur, is it not? And yeah, in case you didn't notice the insane buzzing on my headset, which you may or may not have. If you don't have that, it's great. Whenever I listen to it back on my headset, I've got this insane loud buzzing sound. Probably caused by my uber cheap headset. Working man. Can't really afford a new headset. Well, this is technically a new headset, but considering I only paid, what, like $30 for it? You get what you pay for. I didn't really have YouTube videos in mind when I bought this headset. Alright, let's try something a bit like that. Alright, we need to actually start making sure this thing curves back up, or towards her head right about now. If I can do this just right, it's actually going to combine back with her head right where I need it to, which would be insanely awesome if I actually managed to do that right. It's going to be close. I'll give it that. Alright, maybe a little too close. Alright, proportional editor. Let's just go and slide it all over. Alright, now if I can do this right, scale along the x-axis, flatten it out a little bit. Alright, this is going to take some more editing, because I just realized I was wrong on Fluttershy's main. It actually does cover up her eye on the back side, which I would imagine would make it fairly hard to see, would it not? Anyway, this is again editing it how you think it should look, not how I think it should look. Because how I think it should look and how you think it should look are probably two very different things. What I can do is I can try and slide that over. Increase our area of effect. There we go. I mean, that'll actually do. I'm going to add a new material. Select the hair material, tab Z. That's not terrible. Yes, transition. Oh, spit all over my computer. With the same object selected, we're going to start down here at the bottom curl. On the other bit of the main, add a cylinder. Turn off the proportional editor. It's a wonderful tool, but I hate it when I leave that thing on when I don't need to. Excuse me, fish is killing me. Still. And we're going to do the other bit of her mane. This one passes on the left side of her head and body and legs and stuff. I did not slide that over far enough. Select it all. slide it over just a little bit more. There we go. Wait, Z. And yet again, we're doing a third mesh today. I don't know if you're noticing a recurring theme with how I build Blender models. It's lots of blocking out meshes, facing meshes once you've cut, quote-unquote, cut and pasted them back together, and then more model blocking. Just rough general shapes, and use the subdivision surface to hide how bad of an artist I actually am. It works, doesn't it? Alright, this one we're going to need to turn this way. Curve it back around to the back side of her head. This looks so weird like this. When you can see the other side of the mesh, and it looks like it's almost coming towards you, but in all actuality it's going away from you. And we're just going to put this in the rough spot of like about where the other bit of her mane is. Just, you know, roughly. And then we're going to take, select a couple there, turn it on the proportional editor, connected mode. Slide some of that over just to give her this bit of the mane a bit more definition. A bit something like that. And grab that guy, slide it over. Turn off the proportional editor. Get that little bit of a curl finished off. Some a bit like that. Alright, let me see if I can do this just right here. Select all this, and we're going to scale it down just a little bit. Scale on the x-axis, just flatten it up. Make it a bit more hair-like. Again, we're going to grab this one. Proportional editor turned on. And move it out of her leg. Same thing up here. Just pull it out of her leg. Roughly out of her leg, you know. Some bit more like that. And we go Z. I just realized this actually does need to be in the middle of her head. Let's see what I can do to fix that. Alright, I'm going to take and assign a vertex group, add a group, name this bottom curl, assign, Shift I, do another vertex group, top curl, assign. I'm going to move this one over. Apparently not that far over. My proportional editor was actually turned on. Turn that off. Alright. Now turn it back on. Oop. I'm just getting this to where it's more in the center of Fluttershy herself. Just to make it, just to give it, quote unquote, a bit more realism. Lol. Connected mode, please. Not like a walking, talking magical pony is unrealistic or anything. Alright. This is actually looking quite well, I must say. Shift Z to render it up. And this is what our cute little Fluttershy is looking like. We need to add a subsurf. Level 2. Level 3 render. Set level 2. Yeah. This is our cute little Fluttershy. Wow. Actually looking pretty good. Alright. The mane and tail are actually done. Done. So what we're going to do is we're going to tab into edit mode, select all the vertices. If I remember right, it's oh, that is definitely not it. I don't know what that is. Oops. Alright, we're going to go over to this panel on the left, and under the shading selection, click smooth. We're going to tab out of edit mode and do the same thing on the main. Tab in, grab everything, and shade smooth. We're going to do that on the body after we are all done with the body. We're not all done yet. But as you can see, on the actual model, on the hair itself, it's gone and made it look smooth. It's exactly what the modifier says it is. It's a shade smooth modifier, or a shade smooth tool option thing. It makes it look so much better. With that in conjunction of a level 3 subsurf modifier, it looks flawless. This is why the model doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Wait, let me just readjust a little bit here. Alright. Yeah, on our main body model, you can see it's got all these little squares and everything. When we apply the smooth, it will all disappear, and it will be wonderful. Alright, I lost track of how long this video's been going. What do you say we go ahead and add wings while we're at it in this tutorial, or in this portion of the video, and then next video we'll be able to get on to some rigging. What a fun character rigging. Alright, Shift C, put our 3D cursor back to the center, and this is where I have a little bit of problems. Alright, to clean up our object panel, I'm going to actually go in and name these. Main, that one. What on earth is that one? Oh, that's the part of the main we made invisible. We can actually delete that. The main that we made invisible, we don't need that. That is the tail, not a tail, a tail. This is the body. Alright, so we're actually going to do this as 2 separate meshes to start with, and then we're going to combine them just like we did with the eyes. So I'm putting the cursor center of the mesh, or center of this view with Shift C, and then I'm going to move it up about where I think a shoulder or a wing should be. Not Shift C, just Z. Alright. I only tried doing a wing today. So bear with me. Rotate 90. Alright. Yes, I want to do that. Alright. Our cylinder that I just added is right in the middle of the model. You will be tempted to take and just move this to the left to get a single wing. Don't do that. What we're going to do is we're going to tab into edit mode. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And then move it to the left. What this does is it leaves the center of the selected mesh at the very center. This little dot that you'll use to grab a mesh, like if I move it out here, you can see this little dot. That is where Blender is saying the middle of the mesh you're working on is, it's the very center. We need this for the mirror modifier. If I take right now and add the mirror modifier on, should be working on, alright, we're on Z-axis mirroring now. I don't know why. I don't really know how this mirror modifier entirely works. Well, actually, no, I just realized. So I rotate it, yeah. Alright, whatever. If, for example, this was at the very center, it would actually mirror it from the center. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but trust me, you need this at the center of your model, or else it just won't work right. Just so I don't get distracted by the other half, I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to hide the main up here in our object panel. Just go to the main, click on the little eyeball icon, and it will hide it. If we take render, it'll render without it, but when you go to do a final render, it will render with it. I'm just doing that so I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, let me see if I can get a wing to work. The last version of the wing that I made was a horrible failure. I had to go back. Those Gmod ponies that I referred to, I actually did a lot of looking at on them just to figure out how those wings were. I came to the conclusion they're a little bit difficult to make, how they were done in Gmod. So I'm kind of having to do my own. Yes, alright. We're going to do these wings in closed view, so as they're tucked up against the body. Yes. So this may be a little difficult. Just try and bear with me. If I have to do tweaking and stuff, and then maybe jump cuts and whatnot to the video, I will. I hope I can get by without it. 'Tis the mark of a good editor, is it not? Or a good modeler. Alright, this is where the annoying part comes in. Add the little fingery tip thing, whether feather, whatever you want to call them. We're gonna add one that I did that actually worked. I had 3 feather tip things. I'm gonna do a loop slide in this big one just to get that down a little bit smaller. Face selector. Yeah, we'll go and make these things 4 edges. Whoa. Just extrude them up. Lay them back close to the body. These are supposed to cover the cutie mark just a little bit. Grab, extrude again, grab, scale it down. I really hope that this actually works. Considering this is something I've never quite tried doing. Yeah. Like I said, last wing models did not work. They looked really, really lame. Yeah, coming from the guy who actually made the wings, they were horrible. So I'm trying this new technique. Let's see if it works. It should work, why wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, if you can do better wings, don't follow what I'm doing. 'Cause I know this is gonna lead some pretty basic wings. We'll just leave it at basic. Who knows? With these modifier cheats that I'm using, it may actually work. Subsurf and Shade Smooth. Who knows, we may come out with an awesome pair of wings. Here's a moment of truth. We're going to add Subsurf, level 2, render level 3. It's not actually an utterly terrible looking wing. I'm kind of impressed. One thing I do need to do is I need to take, and shorten this one down just a little bit. One thing is, if you actually know rough pony geometry, the wings are supposed to partly cover up the cutie mark, which we're successfully doing. We're covering it up just a wee little bit. Yeah. What can I do to improve this just a little bit more? I can take and grab... Where did it go? That guy. Move him up just a little bit. Add a loop slide right there. Slide it over. If you can live with it, I can live with it. Alright, we're going to turn on Z-axis mirroring. So we've got a pair of wings. We're going to apply the mirror. Select the wings, select our model, do Control J to merge the two together. Let me see here. Tab. Oh, actually, if I can, no, I can't undo it. That's too bad. What's it gonna render color-wise? As the eyeball texture. Alright, I made a mistake. Needed to go and create a need to create a vertex group for the wings. I failed to do that, so I've got to actually go and manually select a fair amount. I've got to go and select all the wings back, so that we can give it the right shader. It needs the body shader. And I realized I've actually made another mistake. I've selected, yeah, I'm making all kinds of mistakes. Alright, first we're going to take and add this, add a group, wings, assign the group, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take in wireframe mode, Z, and just for the record, all this can actually be avoided by actually doing it the right way, which I've failed to do. I've gotten ahead of myself. Do not apply the mirror modifier, because when you add it back to the body model, the body still has a mirror on it. Yeah. Alright, so we select our wings, and I'm going to assign it the body, Z, I've missed a little bit of the texture that we need. Let's see how sneaky I can be in getting all the little bits of our wing model. Yeah, it turns out I missed some of our wing. Yes, I've suddenly stopped talking. Alright, there we go. Assign vertex. Assign Z. Alright. Make sure all that's assigned. Assigned as the body. Not gums, body, please. Yeah. Alright. Body. Alright, now we're rendering the right color. Now, I can go over here. Delete those other couple little pesky edges that got away from me. Alright, there we go. And we'll reapply the main. Our body is actually finished, so we can go select everything, and just as before we can add shading smooth, and render it up, and this is our little Fluttershy. All shaded smooth, looking like a pretty little pony. Mostly. There's a couple little graphical bugs, or graphical mishaps. I really need to keep turning, or quit turning caps lock on. I did need to go around here and do a little bit of editing around the eye, just to make it look a little bit better. Let me see here. Yes, that's one thing I need to do. Let me see, how am I going to do that? I know. So what I need to do is I need to add the eyelashes and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, we're going to get a loop slide. Oh, this is going to work beautifully. We're going to slide it around the inner eye. Wait a second. Where did it put that? Nope, I put it in the wrong spot. Alright. It needs to be in right there. Alright, there we go. Alright, we've created a nice little ring. We need to select all that. Alright, there we go. Yeah. So we're going to add another vertex group, and we're going to name this eyelashes. We're going to assign these guys right here as the eyelashes. We're going to add actually I don't need to do that, not all of it. I only need to do it down to about right there and up to right there. Alright. Just getting only the eyelashes, or assign, deselect, select. Alright, good. Alright, only the little bits that we need. We're gonna add a new material. New assign eyelashes. It is a French word. Eyelashes. Node editor. We're gonna do this. I think we're just gonna do a diffuse, run it not quite black, almost black. 3D view, Shift Z. There we go, get a little dark going right in there. Oh yeah. Oh no. NVIDIA OpenGL driver lost connection with the display driver due to exceed Windows timeout is unable to continue. The application must close. What? What application? Oh no, my cycles render. Oh no. No! Alright, that's bad. I suppose this is locking Blender up. I suppose this is a more or less perfect time to actually end this. If it happened to not save anything, then I will, over the course of the next however long, be redoing this. If it did save it, we can pick up right where it just left off. I guess I didn't expect that to happen. I suppose, if you liked it and enjoyed, leave a comment, leave a like, that would be much appreciated. If you want to see more Blender tutorials, more other random tutorials, more just random in general, like Minecraft, games, whatever, feel free to subscribe. I will eventually do more stuff like that. Hoping that my NVIDIA OpenGL driver does not crash again. I will be seeing you a bit later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!